The density and destruction of Port-au-Prince is nowhere to be found on the Mission of Hope, and that's a good thing, as the sprawling 75-acre mission, about 30 minutes north of Port, transformed into a key hospital overnight after the quake hit. Dr. Cheryl Vandermark will never forget what she saw in the moments after bolting from her shaking house with her family.
It was a clear day.
Yep.
It wasn't hazy like this, and all we saw was smoke. Not smoke, concrete dust.
Oh, yeah.
Rising from here all the way to there. The entire city, concrete dust billowed up.
Yeah.
And it looked like bombs had gone off across the whole city.
Yeah.
And Lawrence and I, that's when we turned to each other and just our jaws kind of dropped open. We realized how serious this was and how huge this was.
The Oakville-based chiropractor moved to Haiti with her husband Lawrence and their children a year and a half ago, clearly never expecting their experience to be so life-altering.
Crazy is the word that just keeps popping into my emails, and it has been. It's just been, we never thought we would have been here for something like this.
The day Dr. Cheryl, as she's known on the mission, showed us around was the quietest since January 12th. But on that day, a tour like this would have been unthinkable.
From here back, this was full of bodies lying here.
That night, and for the next 33 hours, the entire team at the mission was triaging patients nonstop. Between 120 to 150 people were seen at a clinic that pre-quake saw 50 to 70 people on an outpatient basis. These days, the mission's high school is home to a recovery ward. Patients lie on mattresses on the floor. This woman is a famous Haitian ballerina who lost a leg and will never dance again. Another amputee is 6 months pregnant. Luckily, her unborn child is doing fine. This woman broke her femur but is slowly starting to learn to walk again. Here, she shows off for the camera, shuffling along behind a walker, always smiling, getting encouragement from the staff. A 15-year-old boy who lost a foot and suffered severe cuts to his arm is too scared to have his dressing changed without going under anesthetic. It's all in a day's work now for Dr. Cheryl and the team, and being an established mission so close to Port-au-Prince has been a huge asset as they help so many Haitian people.
Since the earthquake, we've distributed 2.1 million meals. Because we were on the ground when it happened, it gave us a huge jump start to be able to help in the immediate term until other organizations started to get in country and help out.
The mission's reputation and ability means aid keeps arriving. 9 transport trucks were unloaded in this 7,200 square foot warehouse the night before our visit, and in some cases, even before the items reach the shelves, they're leaving. While we're there, another 2 trailers packed with supplies arrives. That keeps Lawrence busy. The OPP officer from Burlington is on a 2-year leave. But these days, he's managing the mission. The difference in his jobs is night and day.
If I had to compare it, it would probably be the 1% or the 0.5% of absolute craziness of policing, whether that's you know, in a pursuit or in some sort of extreme case. You take that 1% of time as a police officer and then amplify it by 20, 23 hours a day, and that's what it's been like for the past 3 weeks.
The mission is also home to 59 orphans, ranging in age from 0 to 24. And as you can see, it's the sleeping area for the boys at the orphanage which sustained the greatest damage on the mission during the quake. Sections of walls have separated from the roof. Large cracks mark the walls in their bathroom, making this area unsafe for sleeping. Until the damage is repaired, the children sleep outside in tents, but their fear of being indoors may keep them outside even longer. Under the roof of the open-air church on the mission, the pews are alive with parishioners for an extra Saturday service. In the wake of the quake, the faith of all Haitians has been given its ultimate test, and while many here have lost everything, they're thanking God for keeping them alive and for keeping them healthy. For many, their faith is all they have right now.
They've had family members die, they've had, gosh, their houses are gone, they have nothing left. And so they're turning to God. They have nothing else to depend on.
The doctors here have had to depend on their creativity to practice medicine. Whether it's using a picture of an x-ray on an iPhone to operate on a broken femur, or taping an x-ray to a window so they can get a better sense of an ankle injury, these physicians are being resourceful under stressful conditions. Since the quake, more than 5,000 people have been treated here for some kind of trauma.
It's almost like we've been training for this time and this event, and now everything's just tenfold of what we were doing before.
Inside the OR, the boy who was too afraid of having his dressing changed is finally under. And Dr. Tyler Goldberg is changing his bandages.
We always put the time or the date when we put the dressing on and then when it should be taken down.
Despite the unusual challenges, everyone we spoke to at the mission seems happy to be here, helping in Haiti's time of ultimate need.
Wasn't really planning on going at this time yet, but after the earthquake, we just felt compelled that we had to, if there's any way we could help, we would.
They have so much physical pain. Just to see that you can make them smile, that has just been a real a good thing for me to see.
And while they're giving up their time to help, Vandermark says the mission is getting a lot of emotional and financial support from family and friends back in Canada.
It's been amazing. Canadians have been so generous. There's been so many people helping out with funding, with supplies. The emails I get every day, I have over hundreds of emails in my inbox of prayers and well wishes, and I'm going to send money down to Mission of Hope and this and that, and it's really been overwhelming, and it's hard to take it all in, but it's really realize where Canadians step up, man. Canadians love to help.
That help is going to be needed for some time to come.